Welcome to Candid Conversations. I am your co-host, Coach Ken Canion, a.k.a. the doctor, a.k.a. the professor, a.k.a. Mr. a.k.a. I'm alongside, you like a IG model now. I mean, you glammed up, lost all this weight looking all fly. You was fly 100 pounds ago to me.
Okay.
Always
Okay.
be.
Okay.
I mean, but now you like an IG model.
Okay.
type.
What you want to do with me then?
You'll be asleep before I get it done.
I didn't ask you. I didn't. That's not what was the question. I said, "What do you want to do?" I didn't say what was we gonna do.
I want you.
You know what?
I want to test.
You know what?
out
Never mind.
the power of the brain. What up?
So I am Coach Karen Canion.
You a coach
now? And to him, sometimes Wookie. How are you guys doing tonight? I want to thank you guys for joining us for another Thursday evening. As Ken says, you could be anywhere, but you're right here with us, and we are so very grateful for that. So how you doing?
I'm doing great. But last week you saw the best of, and we've done a lot of good shows. A lot of good shows.
I was about to ask you something else, but go ahead. You just flipped it up. Go ahead. Go on ahead. Keep on going, because I done forgot now.
Okay,
Menopause. Menopause.
Okay.
I done forgot.
No, I was just talking about last week.
Okay.
We had the best of. And shout out to our production team.
Yes.
Who do a great
Whoop,
job.
whoop.
Taylor, A.K. Big P, Mr. P. We got a great team. So I'm excited. We had a great show. We were away, but we back.
We back in his
And
house.
tonight we got a good show sponsored by, it's sponsored by the Pocket Communication Coach. Now I got to tell y'all something. About the Pocket Communication Coach. Me and Taylor, we were shooting some videos today, right? Some commercials. And we were talking, and in the commercials, y'all, Taylor be bringing out the best in me, you know what I'm saying? But in the commercials, I said one of the scripts was talking about, have you ever been in a conversation with somebody, and no matter the more you said, the worse the conversation was? Like the more it got bad, kind of like, where ours was going to go like a few minutes ago. But, and you notice how I shut up.
I did too.
Now, you kept talking, but
No,
notice
I did not.
I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about me right now.
Okay,
Notice
go
how I
ahead.
shut up?
Okay.
Because I didn't have a Pocket Communication Coach with me.
Oh, okay.
So I could type it in and see what exactly
Because you was
it
about to
say.
say something not smart.
That's why I said,
What you do? You wrapped it up.
I wrapped up the string around it, wrapped my mouth and my lips up. But look, the Pocket Communication Coach would have told me exactly what to say, exactly how to say it, to lead us away from conflict. So if you want to communicate better in your relationship, and you're tired of your conversations going left, pocketcommunicationcoach.com.
Who do you think messed that up?
It doesn't matter who messed it up. What matters is
what do you
the
think
Pocket
went wrong?
Communication Coach can fix it.
I'm glad he didn't answer that, because boy, oh boy.
Doesn't matter who messed it up. See, that's the thing, y'all. You know why that doesn't matter? Because then you focus just on winning. And I want to focus on reconciliation.
I wish right now that we could insert like a cheer or a hand clap or something, because that deserved it. Okay, so we have a letter for tonight. You ready to get this thing going?
Sure. Oh, I see you wore those glasses.
I'm going to tell you this right here.
What?
I did want, and nobody knows what this is about. I did want to have that meeting in a restaurant.
So that's why the conversation went left, because you wanted to eat?
No, because you took over the conversation. And then after you took over the conversation, hold it, skibbly bebop. After you took over the conversation, then you said, I don't know, ask Karen. You had already taken over.
You asked me a question.
Okay, let's get going.
And I took over
I have a
the
letter.
conversation. Hold on. hold on. I just got to say one thing. You
You
see how
changed
things go,
you
love?
changed my,
She asked me a
I
question
did.
to answer.
I did.
And then I answered the question. And because I didn't give her the answer she desired, I took over
I
the
didn't ask you
conversation.
about where we were going. We were just talking about the time. But neither one of us had the pocket communication coach. That's why I went,
I
could have
mean,
gone
I
left.
do have it on my phone. My phone was turned off. See?
Okay.
See my joint
That's why I
on?
went left. That was the point I was just trying to make. I wasn't trying to, I was just trying to show
You want me
people
to
how
take you?
things.
Can I get you, order you something to eat? Can I order you
Okay,
something?
guys, we have a letter tonight.
Shit, just a little food. Stop that. Hey, Taylor, give me the pralines and the praline joints you got. Solve this. Okay, go ahead.
Dear Coach, my name is Faye, and I am a single 54-year-old empty nester. I spent my younger years taking care of my kids, going to games, dropping off to cheer practice and basketball. And I didn't feel like I was missing anything in my life. I went from a very active life to almost nothing. I work from home, and sometimes I only see people, well, not including the Amazon man, once a week. I miss interacting with people. I guess what I'm saying is that I'm lonely. I want to be heard, seen, and touched, and not so much in a sexual way, but in a sexual way too. I don't know what to do to begin to live again. I have seen a therapist only to leave with more questions than answers. I guess what I'm saying is I'm not happily single. I am sad and lonely, and I have no idea where to go from here. Faye.
Wow. Okay.
So we always hear that song, what does the lonely do at Christmas? But what does the lonely do, period?
What do the lonely do? Okay.
At
So
Christmas.
I don't want to diminish the importance of this, and I
Mm-hmm.
want to give it the seriousness that it
Yeah.
deserves because there are a lot of lonely people out there, and and I will say this: we don't just end up there. There are circumstances many
Mm-hmm.
times that take us to this place, and then what happens once we get lonely, we get accustomed to it, and so we get familiar with it and we begin to know what it is and what we do is we begin to accept it as normal. We normalize loneliness.
Mm.
Okay, it's kind of like the person who normalizes
Excuse,
abuse.
excuse excuse me. Bless me.
Bless you.
Okay, thank you.
I was just making sure you wasn't one
I
stroking
was
out or nothing. Just making sure you good because you had excuse me. Okay,
I was sneezing.
you sneeze in the middle of my
I'm
commentary.
sorry.
But no, we familiarize loneliness and it becomes a part of us, much like, a person being in a relationship and they familiarize abuse. It's
Mm-hmm.
like I've grown accustomed to it and I normalize it. So it's a familiar, normal thing that I have accepted as a part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing is what she's doing. She has decided that I no longer want to be lonely.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing is that whenever we want to change something, we have to tell our brain that I want to change. We have to plant a seed of I want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Then the second part of that is it must become a must that I change.
Mm.
Notice what I just said. It must become a must.
So you're doing it on purpose.
Right. So
So you're
sometimes, people say, I ought to lose weight. I should lose weight. I know I need to, but it hasn't become a must yet.
mm-hmm.
And so when it doesn't become a must that I do it, that I have to do it, that what's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen?
It's gonna stay there.
It's going to stay right there.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think? Well, I feel like it's a thin line, but there's a difference between being depressed and being lonely.
I think loneliness leads to depression.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens, the reason loneliness leads to depression, because God made us, we're social creatures. You ever notice how they say people who do crazy, diabolical things, they're alone?
Mm.
Think about it, they're alone with their own thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to get into that in a second, why that is not always good. But, the Bible says, I don't know if the Bible says this, but people.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm about to
I know
say-
that's right. Don't be
I was
putting
about
that
to
on
say the
board.
Bible people. Well, they say idle mind is devil's workshop.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know if the Bible say
I don't
that.
know if it is.
But or just the old folk from our old ancestors.
Uh-huh.
But it's true though.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you why. You ever been by yourself, Nick, and you left alone with your own thoughts?
Yes. I get this from my father was a prisoner of his thoughts.
Mm.
And that's something that I have to fight on a daily, daily is I have to fight my thoughts. And why are you looking at me like that?
Because I lay beside you and I be sleep. What thoughts you fighting?
No, I mean just like things of the past, things that people
okay.
have said to me, things that have happened to me, situations, circumstances. I fight those things daily. And that was one of my dad's issues in life.
Oh,
Yeah.
and so when you fight those issues, and think about it though,
Mm-hmm.
what you said was, I fight them. I fight the thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The people who are in those depressed states, they stop fighting the thoughts.
A lot of it, or I will ask you a question. Do you think that people can still be lonely with people around them?
Absolutely. Because loneliness, okay, let me explain what loneliness is.
Mm-hmm.
Loneliness is the absence of connection. So if I can be in the midst of hundreds of people but have no connection,
Mm-hmm.
no emotional connection with people, that is why when God made people a social beings, the idea was that we were supposed to connect. Think about you. Think about you. When you're around and me and you might talk, and even if me and you will go somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a lot of people around, but we connected with each other.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to say one word, but I know I might start laughing because I know exactly what you're saying. I'll be like, you know what? Stop it. And you just looking at me. And you ain't said one word, but you're communicating with me.
Mm-hmm.
So we are connected. We might not know anybody else in the room. And so what happens is she said something interesting. And I'm going to give you the formula to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Though.
Yes.
But she said something. I stay and I work from home.
Mm-hmm.
Other than the Amazon guy
Mm-hmm.
that comes by weekly or daily, no other human interaction.
Mm-hmm. And think about it. That's no human touch. Like when you're away on the road or when I'm away on the road, the first thing we do when we see each other is embrace each other.
Yeah.
And that's something even like at night when we sleep.
That's
You
we
know,
say that's our favorite
we
time.
have to, there's some part of our bodies that's touching.
Until you have a hot flash. And then when you have a hot flash, we separate like a couple getting an annulment. When you get that hot flash, I be like, ugh. I be like, oh, I'm just saying.
So this is a great time to bring in the audience so that I will not choke fire out of Ken today. But what do you guys think? What advice would you give Faye in a situation like this, in lonely or being lonely? What are some things that she could do, Ken, and audience? What things would you tell her? What advice would you give her to bring herself out or to expose herself? I don't know how you would say it.
Yeah, well, loneliness is a state of being.
Mm-hmm.
It's a state of being, not doing. So that means because it's a state of being,
Mm-hmm.
it means it has become a part of me.
Okay.
So now I've got to change that part of me.
Mm.
So when I change, the first thing to change that part of me is I change the activity associated with me. Now listen to what I'm telling you. I change the activity associated with me, and then I will change who I am. So for instance, now you a gym rat. You at the gym every day. I remember a time where I couldn't get you to go to the gym, or me neither for that matter. But what happens though? What happened? It became a part of you. It's a part of you now. Every day. You're at some either walking right after we go to the gym, walking twice a day, and strength training now. All of that. So you made a conscious decision to change your actions. So the first thing to alleviate loneliness, everybody listen, you need to remember this. Motion creates emotion. I'll say it again. Motion creates emotion. The more you do something, the more you'll feel like doing it. Because a lot of people, you isolate yourself because you don't feel like it. You don't feel like it. Because for whatever reason, you might think it's no use, I can't connect, or whatever. People are going to do you wrong, whatever beliefs you have. But here's the thing. First thing of getting out of loneliness is, number one, acknowledge that I'm lonely. Number two, it must be a must. Number three, change my action. Intentionally change it. That might be, okay, well, one day a week, I'm going to walk in the park. One day a week, I'm going to go to the mall. I'm going to break the patterns of the things that I used to do. Okay, I'm going to actively get around people. Now, I may not connect right away, but what I'm doing is I'm telling my brain that I'm supposed to be doing something different.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Because the brain doesn't operate in words. It operates in pictures. You've heard me say that a million times. The brain operates in pictures. And so the brain has to see you doing something different. And then what the brain does is tell you you're supposed to be doing something different. And then the emotion to do it will come after you do it. So that's how we start the process. And then you get consistent in doing that. That's
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? So I got a question for you.
Yes.
And this is a deeper situation.
Okay.
We can identify her loneliness. We can identify it because she's told us.
Right.
Lack of human interaction, other than Amazon, working at the crib. But what if you married and you're lonely? What if you in a relationship, you living with somebody, but you're lonely? Because what did I say at the beginning what loneliness was? I said loneliness is the absence of connection.
Have you ever felt lonely in our marriage?
No, I ain't never been lonely. I might have been angry.
I didn't ask you about
I might have been
anger.
angry.
You just could have said no and could have left it right there.
No, but I need them. They might think we have a perfect relationship. We have a good relationship. But there were times when we weren't good years ago. Years ago when we weren't good. I was never lonely. I was angry. I was
and
resentful.
I think I was lonely.
Okay, well,
like I was
explain it
lonely.
then. Explain it.
I
Then.
just we were not connected. We just were not. And we took up a space, but we weren't living in that space. We were living separately. I feel like your emotions were here and mine were here, and they were not.
But we weren't doing different things like I'm at the I'm at a club and you at a different club. I'm just
I'm saying you've always worked long hours. So you may have been in your office at home, but
what's the difference in that now?
Because now we are connected. Now, even in your busy day, you'll come to me and will embrace me, or
slap you on the booty.
I like that, or you're that physical touch, or I'll come and hug you around the neck at your desk, like those things. I feel like keep us connected, keep us, keeping it charged a little bit, and so, but yeah, I have felt.
How did you get out of or maybe we got out of, I don't know. But tell me how you were able to get out of your loneliness.
Wow. I think that was something that we did together. You had no idea
That I was doing.
that I was lonely.
Oh, I didn't.
You had no
I
idea.
did not.
You know, there was a time that I felt like I was on an island by myself when we were going through what we were going through because I couldn't share it with anybody. There was nobody I could share how I felt, my deepest feeling. So I kept it inside because I didn't want to tell somebody how I felt about you and then they develop some type of feeling about you and then me and you are good again. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
And so I think that we worked together on our relationship and that did it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But you know what, though, Ned? You just bring up a good point. A lot of times when people have, disagreements in relationship, first thing they want to do is run and go tell somebody about what happened. Now, I'm not saying you don't have a confidant,
Right.
like a person that because everybody should have somebody that's going to tell you the truth, though.
Mm-hmm.
Good, bad, or ugly, the truth. But then they're going to tell, and then they're going to tell the people, their family members, well, he did such and such. And then when you get back with them, you get mad at your family members
Right.
because your family members don't like them.
Right.
I mean, so did you think about that or something? Like
Well,
your family members might not like me afterwards?
My family or my friends. Like I didn't share. I didn't share. I kept it here. I just felt like that was my job as your wife to cover you.
Some of your friends didn't like me at the beginning anyway.
They didn't like you because it was 12.
No, don't start there.
Years.
It wasn't no 12 years. See, there you go telling that lie again or that mistruth because it wasn't a lie to you, but to me, it's...
we weren't together. We were messing around. Okay, let's just say messing
we
around.
We've been messing around, yeah.
12 years.
We messed around. But I messed around.
We was together.
I was messed around.
He was my man.
No,
my man.
Because we messed around?
No, because you washed your clothes at my house. I keep telling you, because you had a key to my house. But most of all,
okay, so I'm
you
gonna
was tapping that thing, and you had control of the remote.
Can I say this to you?
Papa,
this might lead to an argument. What I'm about to say.
I don't even care because you was my man.
I'm not even that about that.
Okay, what?
But I've had the keys
to a lot of women's house.
No, not a lot of women.
I was gonna say, hey, you finna get stabbed with this pen.
No, I'm saying I've had the key to other people's house before you. And the question is, was I their man?
I don't know. I don't know the definition of my man, but my definition is you.
Oh, anybody got their keys to somebody's house? That's their man.
Listen, we ain't had no Gain pods and Tide pods back then. It was powder, washing powder. You had to scoop it out.
Didn't I bring my own powder?
No, never, not once.
Because
he was my man.
Because you had a good.
He had a book of food stamps every month, the big book.
You know what's funny about that? All I can say.
You brought your friend over and he ate every Hershey Kiss in my bowl. I never filled that bowl up again. He ate them all in one sitting.
Which friend?
I never filled that bowl up again.
Which friend?
You were my man.
What friend? Who ate?
And used to bring me a Pepsi every evening when you got off work on your way home. You would come over my house and bring me a Pepsi. You were mine.
Okay. Getting back to loneliness.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Getting back to loneliness. To Faye. I think I'm going to leave Faye with this.
Yes.
Faye, you have to make a conscious decision that I don't want to be, and I will no longer be lonely. Then it's not the emotion's not going to change right away.
Mm-hmm.
But then you decide to be intentional about it. And I am going to, so when people, because if she's lonely, people probably invited her to stuff before, and she's like, "Nah, I'm busy."
Mm-hmm.
Now what you're going to do is you're going to fight the urge not to do things, and you're going to start going out, meeting people. It may be uncomfortable because you may be an introvert, an avoidant, But what I'm telling you is, if being lonely is detrimental like that, we got to change it.
Mm.
So we start there. And I don't want to go into the other thing, but I would also get in a community of people, something you like to do, even if you don't know them, because in those communities, you have something in common. Whenever you have something in common, I don't care what it is. Like if you like the same team, if you crochet, you can connect with them based on that.
That's good.
That's what I would
That's
say.
good.
What advice would you give Faye before we go?
Like you said it, first of all, I would change my atmosphere. Even if you could, like if you work from home, if you could go to a bookstore or some days maybe go out and work it in the park, just change your atmosphere, change what you say, change how you look and see and change how you feel and stuff. How you say it?
Hey, open the game up.
How do you say it, kid?
Open the game up.
Oh.
All right, yeah. All right.
I'm having a moment.
See your friends hug. Intentional hug. See your friends hug.
He is reading that thing like
See your friends hug them.
Super hard. So I'll be a producer and talk because I'm saying it because when you find your community, you have to be intentional about. She's talking about Faye misses being touched. So if Faye misses being touched, when you find your community and you find your friends, when you see them, give them a hug.
That'll be good.
Can they hear you?
I'm not sure, but that's why I'm trying to get you to say it. But like, it's just intentional.
Y'all hear
touches.
that? Intentional touching. See, she said it.
So it doesn't have to be a sexual connection
No.
to feel your.
No, absolutely not.
We
It
were-
definitely
we
doesn't
talked
have to
so
be
much
sexual.
about-
And the reason why the sexual, if it was just sexual, that's not really, it is a type of connection. But if you're lonely, that's
You
not
need a
completely
more
what you're
genuine.
Yeah. Because that's kind of, it can be, because that can be transactional. Yeah. Go ahead,
Do
read.
some transactional
We got to
tonight?
hold up the game. Hold up
Did you hear
the
what I said?
Do I want to do something transactional?
Yeah, I got
It depends. It depends.
You know what?
Do I
Never
have to pay? Do I have to pay? Moment of Truth games.
Ain't no free lunch.
Sex version, regular version that she has. Order the combo, and you will get to know people. All right, this is a great game. Great game.
Okay, so I'm gonna go from the original tonight.
And we've been doing this over a year, and we rarely still haven't hit a second card.
Okay.
That means we got a lot of cards. Go ahead.
So, I don't think we've done this one. A person you've been dating for a few months finally meets your best friend. After meeting your friend, after the meeting, your friend tells you that he or she met your new boo a year ago at a swingers party. You would A, not mention it was before you. B, break your friend's trust and confront your partner about it. C, walk away from the relationship. D, ask them to invite you to one.
Okay, that's a hard one because B, I want to confront him about it, but my friend is like, no, don't tell them, don't break their trust. So if I tell them and me and that person don't work out, then I lost my friend too.
Right.
What was A?
Not mention it was before you.
P, am I into it or am I trying to just pop goes the weasel? If I'm pop goes the weasel.
A person you met, that you've been dating for a few months, meets your best friend.
So that's pop goes the weasel, but I might like him. So I'm gonna have to go, A is say them again now.
A, not mention it.
A, not mention
it.
it.
Was before you.
For
B,
me.
Break your friend's trust and confront your partner
Confront
about
him,
it.
break my friend's trust.
C, walk away from the relationship.
Okay.
D, ask them to invite you to a swingers.
If it ain't Pop Goes the Weasel, might be D. Like, let me see what's going on. I'm gonna be a voyeur in there. Be a voyeur. You know what a voyeur is?
Yes, I do, Kenny.
I'd be like, I know her.
So I think I would choose.
What would you choose?
I would choose C.
Walk away?
You just pop Pam.
I don't think that's how it works.
Pam.
I ain't never been there.
There are different rooms in those swinger clubs.
How do you know?
Because I have friends that are swingers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. And so they have different rooms. They have different rooms.
You have friends that are swingers.
I have a really good friend.
Hold on. Before we turn this off, let's deal with this. Hold on. Let's kind of deal with this. You have friends.
Audience, what would you say?
Hold on. You have friends that are swingers.
You recently started dating someone you really like.
How your ass get friends that are swingers?
Like, they were my friends, and then they were, people tell me stuff. Man, I did hair for 30 years. Come on now. I mean, I'm a comedian. Like, come on.
You friends of swingers.
And I know some swingers. They be swinging too. You recently started dating someone you really like. However, you notice, oh, that's the wrong one. God, dog.
So we only doing one now.
I know that was the wrong one. Because you made me put it up because you started asking me questions.
No, why are you running from it? Friends that are swingers. Let's just cut this off. Okay. Friends that are swingers. Let's just cut this off.
Listen, guys, what would you do? Thank you guys so much for joining the Grand Canyons on yet another Thursday evening. We cannot thank you guys enough. If you have any issues, concerns, we would love for you to write us a letter. You could send it, you DM us. Is that how you get it? Inbox?
Coach Ken Canion at gmail.com.
Coach Ken Canion, and that's Canion with an I and not a Y.
Right. And don't forget, this show is sponsored by PCC, the Pocket Communication Coach. When you don't know how to say it, you need to figure out how to say it. PocketCommunicationCoach.com. And on Tuesday nights, what's on Tuesday?
Guys, do not forget Tuesday nights. They've changed at 8 and 9 o'clock. Caught in the Act, Unfaithful, with yours truly, Coach Ken, in the building. Y'all make sure y'all check it out every Tuesday, 8 and 9 o'clock. What is it, Eastern?
Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time, MTV. And until next Thursday, we're the Grand Canyons, and we are